I was never a big fan of the word surrender. I know that in Law of Attraction land, surrender is like this big concept. You know, you have to surrender, you have to give up, you have to allow. Allow is good. I was always into allow, but I never really correlated allow and surrender for some reason. It never got through my head, and I'm not really. I know why, but it's one of the, you know, I'm really not like one of those like macho guys like, oh, I have to be so cool or anything like that. I don't think that I'm like that, except in this case I kind of was, and to my detriment, because I wouldn't allow myself to surrender to the power that can help me, you know, and which is what I know it to mean now. But I always saw it more as like I'm admitting defeat, like I can't do it. I'm a piece of crap, and I'm just worthless, and I can't do it, so I give up. You know, like now I gave up, and I'm not gonna be able to do the thing I want to do. I'm not gonna get the stuff that I want to get. Which is not at all what it means. But for some reason, somewhere in the back of my mind, that's kind of what I felt and what I thought. So, you know, I always say we are the artists, we make the art, but we are also the art that we make from the heart. And so, you know, we're not only creating the art that we create in this group and the stuff that we share, but we're also creating ourselves and our lives. And I think that that's a part of the big thing about why it's so wonderful to share our art in this group and to praise each other and everything. Because really what we're doing is we're sharing ourselves, you know, which I didn't even think of that when I made the group. It wasn't even a blip on my radar. Like, hey, I'll make a group and we can do that. I didn't know. You know, it just sort of happened and went on its own way. And to me, it's wonderful. And it's teaching me how to be a better me and how to really create the life that I want to create. So as I am learning more about myself, I've learned that I am the kind of person that I needed to be in control of things, and it was to my detriment, as I've said, you know, because I was trying to control stuff that's not my job. Really, that's it. I mean, when we have, if things in our life aren't going our way, if we have something that we just can't seem to get there, or you know, the same lame thing keeps happening over and over again, why is that? It's probably because we're doing something that's not our job. We're trying to do something that is the universe's job. You know, we're supposed to be doing what we do. We came here to do a thing. We have this core genius that I'm supposed to be making this art. I'm supposed to be telling these stories. I'm supposed to be making this stuff. But instead, what am I doing? I'm saying, I can't do that. I have responsibilities. I can't draw and make comics and sing songs. Blah, who can do that? I have to feed kids and do things, so I have to go out and work, you know? And I have to figure out how to get the resources to pay for this and to do that and to make the thing. And I'll do all that other fun stuff when I have leisure time. Who the heck has leisure time, right? Nobody, when their life is like that. When your life is responsibility and stuff, you have no leisure time. But the leisure time is what you need so that you can do the thing that you came here to do in the first place. And that just creates frustration. And the things that I identified about myself that I now do because of that is I argue. And I rationalize and I try to justify what I'm doing, you know? And I don't mean argue with people. I don't argue with people. I argue in my head. If somebody out in the world annoys me, I will rarely, if ever, say a word to them about it. I'll just be like, whatever, you're not worth my time. And I think, like, how smart am I that I don't waste my time arguing with people? But then I go right home, and what do? I'll argue here. I'll argue all day long about it, you know, and be like, that guy, oh my God. And I'll, like, have conversations in my head. Do you ever do this? I'll have, like, conversations in my head. Right? And it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Why do we do these things? I could be using that energy in that time. I don't have leisure time to do my art, but I've got plenty of time to have these arguments in my head with some idiot that annoyed me one day 100 years ago. Who cares? Right? But we don't notice that we do it, you know? And And this is what I'm talking about when I say, because you've heard me say this on past Daily Fuels. I've been reading the book Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Dr. Joe Dispenza. I highly recommend this book. I'm not even really reading it anymore. I'm still doing the stuff from it, but I've done it so often now for the past several weeks that I know it by heart. And the more I do it, the more I'm getting deeper and deeper into it, and I'm actually like making up my own things now, because the last part of his workbook is to create the life you actually want. First, you got to break the habits that you have, and then you get to create what you want. You get to create new habits. And now I'm up to that part. And let me tell you about the new habits. The new habits are, I'm making my comic, I'm making my music, I'm making my stuff. And I figured out, like, I have all this time during the day to do it now that I'm not arguing in my head with people. Now that I'm not justifying and bargaining on how to get this one to pay me and scheming how to do this. And I don't mean scheme like malicious stuff, but I mean like, gee, if I send this invoice now, then maybe that client will think this. So I'll do it on Tuesday after that thing is done, because then they'll think this. It's like, how do I know what somebody else is thinking? Just send the damn invoice. It's due. Pay it. Or don't. It's not up to, I can't control that. You know, but I'm trying to control what other people are doing. I'm trying to control what the weather is. It's like you can't do these things. And not to mention, the other thing that I realized I did was just consuming a lot of garbage. Do you ever like soothe yourself with food or stuff like that? Or especially like the news? Like, I got so into like political stuff that I realized I'm just like, what am I consuming here? And the time and energy put into that, and then having arguments in my head about politics with people that don't exist, right? It's absolutely ridiculous. I could be putting that energy into my art. And that's what I'm doing. So, because that's my actual job. And then now that I've been doing that, I have to tell you, I feel amazing. I feel so much better and really excited about life and excited to move forward in here. And I see a lot of comments, so I'm going to come and talk to you guys now. So let's see what we got. Let's see what Pat and Mary and Diane and Shirley have to say about this weird guy who talks really fast. Salutations, Kelly and Tony's here, and Amy, I have company. Yeah, I got that. And Danielle. Hi, Danielle. Did I say hi to you? I don't know. Anyway, hi. Good news today. Closing on my house next Monday. How are you? Oh, congratulations. That's great. I hope you guys are all feeling better. I'm sure that you are, and you're closing on the house. This is all good news. I'm happy to hear that. And Robin says surrender. Yes, surrender. Oh, right. So surrender. That was like the title of this thing. To give up. I'm giving up all that crap. That's what surrender means. It's give up all that crap, right? I don't have to do that and give up the control. I can't control this person. I can't control anybody, really, right? Except my own self. So give up trying to control things outside of my control and just feel that relief of, I don't have to do that stuff? Oh, you'll take care of that? I can just go work on my comic and my music. That's amazing. Well, that's what I'm doing. So here we are. So yeah, Robin, thank you for reminding me of that. Surrender, a great thing. Think of it in terms of love. In that context, it's awesome, if not even necessary, in my humble opinion. Yes, I agree with you, Robin. Thank you. Danielle says, surrender and vulnerability go hand in hand. They do. And vulnerability is another one of those words that the macho part of me didn't like. It's like, being a little bit less, because I could talk about being vulnerable in art, and even in the things that I say, I'm open to vulnerability in certain ways. It was really the giving up control part for me that somewhere in the back of my head, because consciously and logically I did not think this or believe this, but somewhere in the back of my mind it just would, like an alarm would go off. You're failing. You're admitting defeat if you surrender, right? And it's like, oh, I can't do that. And I wouldn't even realize that I would think that I can't do that, and I would go back to trying to control. Oh, it's hard being a human being, but it's fun. And Robin says, yes, to create the... Did I skip any? No. Robin says, yes, to create the life you want to create, and trying to control the uncontrollable is nothing but frustration. Right. And artists need non-frustration often to create. Right. Frustration does not lead to creativity. They're kind of opposites. And yeah, so you said it best. I don't have to say that again. I can't is a problem for me, says Danielle. Working on it. I can't. What did I say? I don't remember. But yes, I agree with you. I don't remember the context of what I said for you to have said that. But so that's what happens on Daily Fuel. And Amy says, oh, my days, yes. Never argue with others, but take it home and have the argument in my head. Oh, I know. Oh, I can't tell you how many times I had an argument in my head with my next door neighbor about something that I don't even really care about. I don't even care. But had the argument in my head at least 12.5 times, ridiculous, just ridiculous stuff. So part of the book, though, is to go through recognizing the things that you do, right, and the emotions that you feel, so that when they happen, you've practiced recognizing them and pointing at them and going, "Oh, bad, no, not that," right? So that when they do it again, you notice it. You can become conscious of it in the middle of it, rather than, because we don't have these arguments in my head and go, oh, I'm arguing in my head and this is great. I think I might win this time. Let's see. Yep, I'm going to win. Right? We're not conscious of it. We're just doing it. We're doing the dishes and going, and then the kid will come over and be like, Daddy, what's going on? And I'll be like, why am I looking at you in a bad mood? I don't even know why I'm in a bad mood. I'm doing the dishes and and now my son is here or something, right? Why? Because I'm unconscious, or is it un or sub? I don't know. Right? I'm not consciously thinking anything. I'm letting this tape play in my head, this program play in my head where I'm arguing with people. But the book teaches you how to notice it, so that you start noticing you're doing it, and then you can change it. And now the part that I'm up to is the creating the new habits. So now I even know what I want to change it to. I'm not going to fight with this. I recognize that I'm doing it. I don't want to do it. I want to work on this thing. And so much of my time now is just working out the project that I'm working on. It's like I've just got... It's amazing how much time there is to do the thing you actually want to do when you stop doing the crap that you shouldn't be doing. It's fun. Where was I? Oh... My days, yeah, I read that one. Robin says, yes, arguing with yourself is the worst. LOL, my spelling. You saw it was spelled wrong, and instead of changing it, you're funny. I hate arguing with idiots, and when I argue with myself, I'm arguing with the biggest idiot of all, me. LOL. Haha. No, you're not an idiot. You know what? I jest. No, we all do this, so in a way, it's normal. But it's also, I think, psychotic, because we shouldn't be doing this, and we don't want to be doing this. We want to be making our art, and when I say that, I don't think that we're going to spend 24 hours a day painting or sculpting or whatever your thing is, right? I mean it literally. We make our art, and I also mean it metaphorically. We're making our life. We want to make the life that we want. So I'm using art as a metaphor for life. I think you understand that. If you don't, that's what I'm doing. Amy says, consuming rubbish, be it food or news, are all distractions. Yes, absolutely. And I get addicted to certain things like that. Like if I start to pay attention, I'll say to myself, I just want to see what's going on. And the next thing you know, like a week later, I'm checking it like 10 times a day or something like that. And it's just, then I'm just like, why am I doing this, Robin says, I sloth myself. Sloth myself? I'm going to skip that word. I something myself with watching too much TV. Like you become a sloth? I'm not sure what that means. And all the scare talk about COVID, which keeps me safe, which is good. But dot dot dot. Yeah, I know. You know what the thing is too about the news is that sometimes I feel like I'm justified in watching it because I want to know what's going on. But other times I have to remember that the news is a business of getting clicks and views and things like that. And while I don't think that they're lying to us, I think that everything is skewed to keep us scared, so that we'll continue to watch and get addicted to it. Because we get addicted to the chemicals that our brains pump into us when we get that fright or flight. What did I just say? Fight or flight syndrome. Kelly says, when I first started trying to imagine my desires or future, my brain would say, yeah, but, had to tell it to stop arguing for its limitations. Oh, limitations. That's a whole different one. Kelly, you gave me a list of daily fuels last week. I've got a list of things, and that's another one. Robin says, yes. Oops, I just punched the pipe. Didn't mean to do that. Anyway, yes. Danielle, you're so right. Thank you. Stop self-soothing and give the control. So hard to do. Yeah. And you feel like you're justified in the self-soothing, right? Whether it be eating or smoking or drinking or anything, right? And all of those things are fine in moderation. Well, obviously, we all need to eat anyway. But, or even consuming, fluffy content or news content or something. There's nothing wrong with it per se. It's when you realize that you're doing it to distract yourself from something that's actually good for you, and then you end up saying, I don't have time for that thing I want to do. But we do. We really do. Robin gives me the thumbs up, and Kelly says, I also sorry, I thought I skipped one. Kelly says, I also think we have to trust that we are surrendering to really wants to see us happy and fulfilled. I think we have to trust that we are surrendering to what really wants to see us happy and fulfilled. And that's it. It's the skewing of the word surrender, which did it for me, which is why I wouldn't do it. But when I understand and I'm reminding myself consciously, surrender means stop trying to control the things that I can't control. Okay, that I get. But when I would feel like surrender means give up on my dreams, I'm a failure. Well, I'm never going to do that. Never surrender, never give up, right? That kind of thing. And Tony's here. Hey, how you doing, pal? Tony, just today we saw a product in a store that I had invented over 25 years ago. But like always, I've talked myself out of the idea. This happens a lot. Yeah. Oh man, how many times do we have ideas and think, I'm not good enough for that, or I can't do that, or, right? Yeah, that's a whole nother daily fuel topic too. Yeah, these are good. But yeah, man, you just have to, I know where you're going with that, because you didn't have time, you didn't have the idea, I have this idea, but I don't have time for it because I have to have these arguments in my head, and then all of a sudden you see it, and you're just like, damn, I thought of that. What was it? Anna's here. Hey, how are you? Nice to see you on Daily Fuel. Bobby, we have a 2 hours of night, but I see you. We have 2 hours of night. You're in Russia. So are you like really far up? No, it would be all, I'm not sure what 2 hours of night means, but, hello. Nice to see you. And I don't think you've been on a Daily Fuel before, so it's very nice to see you. You're like, what time is it there? Is it, you mean it's like 2 a.m.? Yeah, I'm sorry that I don't know what that means, but you're hours ahead of me, so it's probably you're meaning it's like 2 a.m., but you see me. Thank you. I'm glad that you're here. Robin says, yes, you mentioned the book, and I love how Robin starts things with yes. I don't know what the hell I was saying when you said that, but it makes me feel good. Yes, you mentioned the book and how getting to the emotions of it is key. Yes, that's what I learned in therapy, how to notice it, right? When my emotions are controlling me so I can. That's key, is recognizing it. Recognizing it is the first step, because if we don't recognize it, then we just keep doing it. And that's not good. Amy says, Sorry, I got lost. Amy says, seeing the change in you, I have Joe D's book on order. Cool. Yeah, I definitely have changed. I had a meditation today that was epic, and I came out of it feeling like a new person. And I'll tell you a funny story, because I said that I was trying to argue and justify and scheme and control things. And one of the things that I found myself scheming, and I was doing it and I recognized it when I started doing it. I had to send a client an invoice for a thing. And I realized that I was like, why hadn't I sent this invoice yet? And I realized it's because he's got 2 invoices going. And in somewhere in my brain, I was scheming that I wanted to be up to a certain point, because with the first one, before I sent the second one, because I didn't want to get that email saying, well, let's reduce the amount of work so I can pay you less, because that's what I'm nervous about. You know what I mean? And all of a sudden I recognized that. I said, crap like that is my old way of thinking. And it's what's got me to this place where I can only raise my business so high because I'm constantly nervous about somebody else's perception of money and that they don't even have. You know, it's mine, and I project it, and then I change the way I do things from how it should be to how I think it should be if I were doing it to me. And I said, stop. You're doing that thing, right? So I recognized it in like 10 seconds. And I said, how do you want it to be? I said, well, I just want to send the invoice and go meditate. And when I come out of my meditation, I get a notification that it's paid. That's how I want it to be. And I said, fine. And I sent the invoice and I went and I meditated. And an hour later, I came out of the meditation and I got paid. I swear to God. And I was like, get the fuck out of here. Right? I was like, okay, I am onto something here. So I said, that's it. I am making sure that I do this every day. This is just epic, epic stuff. Whew. And Robin says, so I can change my feelings because I notice them when they roll around in my head. Yes, if you can recognize them, then you can change them. If you don't recognize them, then you can't change them because it's a program. You have to change. That's why it's called breaking the habit of being yourself. It's this habit that we have. Soothe, not sloth. That makes much more sense. I thought it was like making you slow or something like that. And Robin says, hi, Anna. I see you giving hearts. Oh, thank you, Anna. I love the hearts, by the way. I see the hearts when they're up on the screen. That really makes my day. And Anna says, hi, dear Robin. I'm glad to be with you here in real time. And Amy says, are you too caring towards others and disadvantaging yourself? Am I too caring towards others? No, I don't think it's that I'm too caring. It's that I think that my old pattern was that I was too nervous about projecting my feelings about money and paying for services onto others. I could get into a whole deep thing about it. It was that I was trying to, my business was like websites and marketing and things, selling things that I personally couldn't always afford. So I would project that onto other people. Well, if I can't afford this gigantic project that I want to sell this person, how could they? Well, that's ridiculous, you know? But somewhere in my mind, that's how I felt. And it always tripped me up. And I thought that if I fixed that, I could fix my business. But in reality, what it was I was trying to build a business out of something I didn't even like in the first place. What I wanted to do was make the music and the comics and tell the stories. But I can't do that. That's not responsible. Ridiculous. And Robin says, I've learned that no matter what happens or what doesn't happen, it won't matter to worry about it because there's always something I can do about it. That's good. I think I'm going to get the book. Yeah, I highly recommend the book. It's a very good book. And okay, guys, that was a good one. Thanks for hanging out with me. If you're still here at the end, I appreciate it. And I'm going to go now. I got to go make dinner. But I will do Daily Fuel a couple times a week, so I'll be back later in the week. And Robin says, I've learned a lot, but there are some habits I still want to change, so maybe the book will give me some new insights. I think it will. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised with how deep he will help you get into breaking some bad habits. It's really remarkable. So, Robin, you can get the Booby Prize today for having the last comment of the day, and I will say thank you to everybody who was hanging out with me and who's still here, and I'll see you in a few days. Have a good night. Thank you so much. Bye.